Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Well, I'm really not so sure it's a good morning. We have a Typhoon Jolina, about to go through our neck of the woods here at Villa Feliz. Right now it's 6 a.m. in the morning, and we're just starting to get some wind. We've been getting rain all night long. I think the Typhoon, the center of it won't be here until several hours down the road. I think probably around lunchtime. Well, we'll continue to report today on the Typhoon. So let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, another one of the reasons why I wanted to get up early this morning is to make some coffee, because usually what'll happen is the typhoon, the winds will knock out electricity. I need to get my Java this morning before we get the day started. Well, let's go ahead and look at the computer. All right. Well, as you can see, this is the Typhoon here, Jolina, and this first little mark right here. Let's see if we can open this up. You can see that the Typhoon at 2 a.m., which was last night, 2 a.m. last night, was right here. We are right here in the center. So it seems to go in 12-hour increments. And I think we'll probably, by around 2 o'clock this afternoon, about 2 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be right in our area. Okay, we are 2 hours since the last time reported. I had to close this window here because the wind is blowing so hard. We had the screen open and the floor was getting all wet right here. You can see it. Of course, this is the sunroom, so it really doesn't matter. It's a lower level. That's why we designed it like that. But you can see the wind has picked up quite a bit, and it's about 8. It's a little after 8 right now, and you can see lots of wind right now. But we're still several hours away from the major storm coming through. So we'll keep doing some updates as the time gets closer to when the actual main storm is supposed to be right here in this area. Go downstairs, huh? Well, Ness said it'd be a good idea to show you down in the basement because people say, oh, if you have a basement inside the Philippines, oh, you're going to have a problem with flooding and everything. Well, we've never, in 5 years we've been here, we haven't had any problem. We've been lucky because we designed inside the basement. We designed really well. You see we have water here. Even when the wind pushes, like right now it's pushing water, and it will go up underneath this a little bit, but it will go inside this trough right here, and there's a pipe over here that goes through the center all the way through underneath the entire basement out to the storm sewer. And then on the outside you see we have the drain out here, we have the drain over there. When it starts filling up with water in this area, there's pipes underneath here that come out all the way through here, and there's another drain at the top along with that drain. We have so many drains. And something else I wanted to show you is the drain over here. It's kind of a mess down here because I pulled everything in from the swimming pool and all the construction work that we're doing outside right now. It's from the swimming pool right there. And we have a drain on that side. We have a drain. See, we have lots of drains. So even with the steps coming down, we've never had any issue with any water filling up in the bottom of the stairwell trough out there. Now this is where the dogs hang out down here when we have a bad storm or anything like that. They kind of hang out there. Or Mary Ann is like behind the drummer stand over there. She likes the carpet over there. But this is actually the quietest place in the house. When we have a typhoon or anything, it's so quiet down here. These are the only windows, and I leave them open all the time. We never have any problem with any type of water coming in through the windows area because there's so much foliage on the outside. We have a little bit of a cool breeze coming through here. Works really good. Now this area right here, I always have to close this glass, the sliding glass window here, if we have a lot of rain like we're having right now, a lot of rain, because the wind occasionally will push the rain, and it'll go on the little shelf right here and get this area wet. So I just have to remember when we have a big rain and a lot of wind to use the sliding glass instead of the screen like we have over here. Alright, well, it's 8:30. We got our first major brownout, and I have a feeling it's going to stay like this. And that again, in the Philippines, these are things to expect when you get just a little bit of wind. Usually a lot of rain, but we really haven't had a lot yet. And brownouts just happen here all the time. Very simple. You got to be really careful too, because of all the brownouts they have over here. If you're not doing something like a AVR and automatic voltage regulator to some of your expensive electronic appliances, what you'll get is damage. You'll lose a TV set, you'll lose a refrigerator, something like that. So Nessa's pretty good. She's pretty good about getting all these really nifty little devices. This is a power bank right here. It's a power bank and it's a phone charger on top. It has some USB adapters here. We also have, where's our fan? Our fan. Here's our fan over here, and I think I showed this on, I think it was on somebody else's channel that I was a guest on over the weekend. But this fan has a FM radio. It also has, it's an AM FM radio. It also has a fan on here. Just turn it on, and you see we have fan. And it also has the same thing as the other thing. It has a USB out, and these are charging inputs on the side right here. We have two of these. This is so good. It's been so successful here, keeping us cool with a little bit of breeze during situations like this right here. That these are a good investment to have. Any of these battery backups, if you don't have a generator or a solar backup solution inside your house, all these little battery toys actually help out a lot during the multiple brownouts that you'll experience here in the Philippines. So even though we don't have electricity, good things to have are these battery backups, like I said earlier. But Ness also uses for data because she still needs to communicate and work online. Where's your little hotspot thing? Your hotspot. Yeah. So what Ness uses, she has a little, I think it's a globe device. Oh, here it is. So she uses her little, this is her Wi-Fi hotspot that she has. It's a mobile unit, and she's able to connect. She has data on that. And what I do is on my iPad, sorry for it being so dark, but we have no electricity. On the iPad, I subscribe to Globe, and I have the iPad that has a cellular plan. It has a SIM card inside, and I just subscribe to, when we have an outage like this, it's really easy to connect, and I do it's a 50 peso plan for 3 days, and I get like 2 gig of data. So at least if I need to, my goodness, young man, what are you doing? What are you doing? Give me a break. So if I need to get on Google, if I need to search something, check my email, I can do that using the iPad. So yeah, along with the little battery devices, it's a really good idea to have some type of a data plan, even if it's a prepaid, like what we have here. These are prepaid. We don't have a plan with Globe or with Smart for data, and you just use it when you need it. 50 pesos, $1. Now you can see across the street our Bahay Kubo was moved from Bahay Kubo Island to the neighbor's yard over there for their construction. And it's just sitting on some really wobbly concrete hollow blocks. So I really hope that this wind doesn't get to the point that it's going to knock it over and do any damage. Fingers crossed. All right, well, it is 10:15 and we've already got our first casualty. Hopefully it's the last one. And we're still several hours away from the storm being right down the middle, but if you look, the top over there, the top of the raised bed garden, it holds the weather station. You see the weather station over there, as well as the grapevines and all of our dragon fruit. It was no match for the winds, and it collapsed. So we'll have to rebuild that after the storm leaves. I don't know about the damage to the dragon fruit, as long as it hasn't broken all the root systems. But I have a feeling we might be starting from scratch on dragon fruit. And it's a shame because we had such a great season with dragon fruit this year. And it's almost 11 o'clock, and I believe I'm going to say we're in the eye of the storm, because you can really feel the wind has really lowered. Well, I can see over across at Steve's yard where we put the Baje Cubo, a tree snapped off up there. That's a tree they're going to be removing anyway, so it's not a big deal. But the wind is not nearly as bad as it was 1 hour ago. I think the eye is over us right now. And the wind has shifted directions, where the wind was blowing from that direction, from the north to the south, which knocked down our... You can see the top of the raised bed garden. You see our poor weather station over there is laying sideways. Luckily, it's not inside the swimming pool right now. I can see the dragon fruit. I don't know what's going to happen with the dragon fruit. We'll try to recover as much as possible. We're going to have to rebuild all that. I just don't want the weather station to fall over and drop off into the pool right now, but I think it's okay. I think everything is kind of holding itself up right there. But the weather's changed. Now the weather, since it's moving past us, the weather is blowing the wind some weird different directions right now, not from the north to the south. So you can actually see with the trees blowing that way, that is the south there. So it's actually reversed, which tells us the eye is past us, and the wind's blowing, instead of from the north to the south, from the south to the north now. All right, so as you can see, it's about 12 o'clock. Well, you can't really see that, but it's about 12 o'clock, and we are getting the backside of the typhoon. Remember, all the bamboo and everything was blowing that way when we were on the opposite side of typhoon? Well, now everything is blowing this way. It's sort of a south to north, east to west kind of a blowing right now. So it's still pretty rough. Baje Cubo is still standing. You can see the pool is a real mess. That's probably what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning, doing a lot of cleaning of the swimming pool, fixing that garden area back there where all the bamboo fell. Alright, well, we got the trusty handy dandy. Yeah, so we're going to make some ramen. I like to have ramen on cold, rainy days when a typhoon goes through. But Ness also has, what she does is she has some emergency supplies. I'm gonna let her show you her emergency supplies.
Okay, like this. This is Wise, from Wise Company, emergency food supply. We have different kinds of dishes.
So for those of you, I'm going to try to get over here where it's a little bit more light. For those of you who are previous military, and you know what MREs are, meals ready to eat. That's kind of Nessa's MREs that she's got stashed for. I'm going to say I think we've seen the worst of the storm. I think it's pretty much gone. The wind has really calmed down. And I know since we're on the tail side and it's way ahead of us now, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and just kind of do some assessment of some of the mess that's left behind. Hey, you see lots and lots of leaves. All this is really easy to clean up, but it's a mess inside the swimming pool, you can see. I will probably get out here in just a little bit, and I'm not going to wait until tomorrow because everything is breaking down. You can even see some worms inside. I don't know if you see the worm right over there. We got a worm inside there. But that's what happens when we get lots and lots of rain. Sometimes the swimming pool will be the swimming area of the worms that are trying to get out of the saturated ground. I don't know if you can see down but down is lots of big leaves down inside the bottom. I'll just get the netting just a little bit and take care of that. Now, the major part of the destruction is right across here. I want you to see this. Gone. Look what happened here to the raised bed garden, the roofing that we had for all of the grapevine. Oh, it's terrible. See, I was telling you, there's some already still ready to pick. We had a little bit of havoc over here with our lemon tree too. So tomorrow is going to be this. Tomorrow is going to be taking care of what we have here now. This section hasn't broken off, that part of the bamboo over there, but we're going to have to reinforce this with something other than bamboo. Anyway, it's not a big major problem. You can see up here the weather station. We have to put it on a different pole. Mount it somewhere else. I think on our next project. I think we'll make it part of our next project that we're working on as I speak. And Baikubo is still there. That Baikubo, I tell you what, it's been through so many typhoons back on our property here in the backyard of Villa Feliz, and now for its first typhoon across the street over there. And it's like a Timex watch. It takes a licking and just keeps on ticking. Now down here, again, this is nothing that a little bit of cleanup, yard cleanup tomorrow. We'll get to all of this, but it's just lots of leaves and everything like around the yard. And the front yard also, just lots and lots of debris from the leaves. Now, a lot of people say to me, I don't want a coconut tree next to my house because coconut trees will fall on your house. Well, they really don't. I gotta tell you. There's so many other trees that will fall, and these things, they've been through so many typhoons. I mean, since we've been here, Category 4 typhoons, and they bend and they sway, but they're really, really solid. Very, very solid trees around here, and they're so beautiful. I would never take a coconut tree out of my yard. As a matter of fact, you see in the back where Baikubo Island is, we still have the 3 new ones. They're new ones. It takes about 15 years to get to about this height right here. So I love coconut trees. Keep them at least 5 meters away from your house. That's the best advice I can give you. They asked me, did I want these cut down before that lot was sold over. The developer said, we'll cut it down for you if you're worried about it by your house. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. All right, well, we dodged another bullet here in the Philippines. If you live in the Philippines, typhoons, they're a normal thing. And most people don't even know. They don't even get the news. They think it's just another bad storm, and they just kind of live through it. They don't make a big deal about it. We went through 3 typhoons. Remember when we built the swimming pool back in October, November? In October, November, we had 3 typhoons, almost back-to-back typhoons. And the guys, they didn't stop work. They worked through all the build. They did not stop one of the typhoon, the Category 4, Signal 4 typhoon that we had. That was the one day that they took off, and it was a mess that day. They didn't have water or electricity or anything at their apartment where they were staying at. As a matter of fact, it actually kind of got flooded too where they were at. It was in one of those really low-lying, badly built areas. But typhoons are just a normal thing around here. Just make sure that you prepare properly. And I want to thank my good friend Dave from Dave and Emily's Balikbayan farming channel. Dave called me up last night, yesterday, maybe around 4 o'clock, and he said, James, you know there's a typhoon coming. Make sure you get all that stuff out of your yard. Get it. And that's what we did. We put most of the stuff, some building materials we put down inside the basement. We secured all the loose chairs, the things that could fly around, and the umbrellas, we either laid them down or tied them up like that one inside the swimming pool. So thank you, Dave, for giving me the heads up on that. Okay, well, I'm going to close for now. We survived it. I hope everybody else survived it okay. And for those who didn't, because I know it's worse in different parts of the Philippines, especially on the East Coast, prayers go out to you, hoping that you'll be able to recover and repair and get back to life as usual. There is another typhoon just to the north of Luzon. And this one, when it came through here today, 100 kilometers per hour were the winds. The one that is traveling now has not hit the northern part of Luzon yet. It has 240 kilometers per hour winds, over twice what we had today. Super typhoon category. We'll keep an eye on that. If we can report, we'll report on that as well. Well, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. And if you ring that bell, that's when you'll get notified. So until the next time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.